When Father invited me to do a reflection on the gospel message for the weekend, I was a bit anxious. Often we read the gospel and wonder what the message is being given. Some are easier than others, and often there are different interpretations. Scriptures were written in a very different period in our history, but there's always some way in which the message can be applied today. I like to reflect on them and find a message for me today, in this place, and in this time. And so I prepared this reflection. In today's gospel, Matthew is speaking about the parable of the talents and tells the story of a landowner who was leaving his house to travel. He had a large amount of land and he wanted it to be cared for while he was away. So he entrusted the property to his 3 workers. The job was to keep the land profitable while he was away. In those days, it seems that the currency were in talents, coins that were valued very highly. And so he gave one of his workers 5 talents, the second worker he gave 2, and to the third worker he only gave 1. And they were given these talents in relationship to what their abilities were. When the landowner returned after being away for a very long time, he checked in with the workers so as to get a report on how they had managed his land. The first and second workers had put their talents to very good use, and they had doubled the value of the property, and they were rewarded. But the third worker had hidden his talent. He had buried it in the ground, and he was punished. Now, what are we to learn from this parable? What is the message? Upon reflecting, the message I get is this: I acquaint talents with abilities. We all receive God-given gifts at our baptism, and these gifts are not ours to keep. We are called to share them in service to God by reaching out to those who don't know Him, those who live in despair and homelessness and in great need. We are called to make a difference. It's especially pertinent today. We are living in unprecedented times during this pandemic, and there are so many people in the world in need. In addition, November the 15th is the 4th World Day of the Poor. Pope Francis has delivered a message asking us to respond to the theme, "Stretch forth your hand to the poor." There is no better time than now than to respond to Matthew's Gospel. Many of us have talents, abilities that can be put to good use in our community. Christmas is coming. Families are in need. Charities are in need, not only of financial donations, but also of physical help. Soup kitchens, shelters, food banks, and our churches, just to name a few. Pope Francis, in his recent letter, Fratelli Tutti, which is an encyclical on fraternity and social friendship, states that the pandemic has proven there is a need for the world to work together because we are all part of a global family. What affects those in another part of the world affects us. Certainly, the COVID virus has shown us that. And because we are part of one family in the world, we can't forget about our sisters and brothers. There are many world charities that appreciate support. The Catholic Organization of Development and Peace responds to many needs of people in the global South. Poverty is widespread there, and social safety nets are not available to those in need. In closing, we are all children of light. We are called to be awake to those who are having dark moments. We can bring light to them and to the world if we make an effort to put our talents, our God-given gifts, to good use, just as the 2 workers did in Matthew's Gospel. My prayer is that we receive the message and put our faith into action. God bless.